First, business. Business tasks. We have a few to complete. First one is convert your phone calls. Answering the phone is critical. You gotta answer that phone. Answer the phone. You've probably done a lot of marketing to get the phone to ring. Don't have it all go to waste when the phone rings. Convert every phone call into a scheduled inspection. We have some tips for answering the phone and then converting phone callers into clients. That first link goes here. Dear InterNACHI, well, we have many members ask us questions, and maybe one of these questions or comments you have had in your mind. There was a Dear InterNACHI. I spent a lot of money on marketing, a lot of time on marketing to get my phone to ring, and callers often ask me how much I charge. Then after I tell them, they say thanks, and then they hang up. What can I do to get them to hire me? Well, the home inspection business is very different from almost all other businesses because you don't meet your client until after they hire you. So it's essentially all about marketing, getting your phone to ring, and almost no sales, which is like converting a phone call into a paying client. The only time you sell yourself is when the phone actually rings. Marketing gets the phone to ring. You've probably done a lot of marketing to get the phone to ring. Don't have it all go to waste when the phone actually rings. Convert that call into a scheduled inspection. Here are some tips to convert. At the tone, please hang up and call my competitor. Make sure someone is answering the phone. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your office manager, maybe it's your spouse helping you out, maybe it's another inspector in your company, maybe you've hired a company to answer your phone. Answer the phone. Try super hard to answer the phone. If you need to forward a phone call to you, do it. Get that phone to ring. I don't care where you are, except when you're driving. Answer the phone. You don't know how many members I call and they don't even answer the phone, or they answer the phone and they're not even expecting a business phone call, right? You need a particular phone for your business. You can even paint it red. We'll talk about a red phone, or have it capped with something, a different color. This is my business phone. When it rings, it's business, and I know it's business. So I can stop, smile, and get ready for a business call. All of my marketing, all of my efforts, and all my money got the phone to ring. I can't screw it up now. You have to answer the ring. Don't let it go to voicemail. Because at the tone, just hang up and call my competitor. Upon meeting a new client for the first time at an inspection, usually at the driveway, right in the beginning of the inspection, we all show up. First impressions, handshake, big smile, business cards. At that time, if I'm working alone and I know that I have the phone ringing, if it's in my tool bag and it's gonna ring, right? I'll tell my client or ask my client, if my phone rings during the inspection, would you mind if I answer it? Nearly all of your clients will give you permission to answer the phone because, well, I only carried the business phone in my tool pouch. And when a call interrupted me, I knew it was new business. There's an added benefit. During a home inspection, your client is sizing you up, so to speak. Your client is wondering if they hired the right inspector. I'm sure many of my clients thought, gee, this guy seems to be too big and fat to get into the attic space. I'm sure they're thinking that up, sizing me up. 6'3", 250 pounds, how am I gonna get into the attic or crawl space? But they're also looking at you in other ways. And having your phone ring during an inspection shows your client that others seek your services and that you are actually in demand by others. If someone calls you and you don't know if it's new business, well, just explain that, you're in the middle of an inspection and, you'll call them back later. If it's your spouse or your friend, say something like, I'd love to do that for you. Let me call you back. Especially if your spouse is asking you to stop for milk on the way home, right? But if it's new business, make sure you tell your client, this is one of my clients, past clients, and I'd like to take this phone call. I'll be with you in just a minute. And then you step aside and you take that phone call and don't go too far away, right? And the first thing you want to say is, hi, hello, this is Ben from Big Ben Inspections. So glad you called me. How can I help you? And they'll be asking you questions and you need to convert. You convert by saying yes. Yes, if they're asking for an inspection, yes. And if they're asking you to have a conversation, well, here's some tips we have available for you to help you convert that phone call into a paying client. Now, maybe some of you are thinking the following sentence: I am the town's worst inspector and I charge less to prove it. Or maybe you know a friendly competitor who seems to be just pushing the race to the bottom as fast as possible by charging less and less and less every year, right? We all want to raise our boats. We all want to raise our prices, keep rising up. So if they call up and say, hello, I'm looking to get a home inspection. How much do you charge? Well, you've probably received a lot of phone calls like this. Forgive them. Most buyers who are calling you have been pricing homes, shopping for mortgage rates, calculating payments, adding up closing costs, and by the time they call for a home inspection, they have how much in their minds. So here's how to handle it. Don't answer the question. Tell them why you're the best home inspector. Give them other things to focus on. Such as, first, you tell them a few things about yourself, and then if they ask again, ask them about the price of the home. So tell them a few things like, well, I'm a member of InterNACHI, the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors, world's largest organization of home inspectors. I'm a certified professional inspector. I'm a certified home inspector. I've graduated from InterNACHI.edu. And then maybe throw in a few things like, I'm local and I live in the town that you're inspecting. So we're going to be neighbors. So I'll be your local home inspector who can help you after you move in. I recently took a course on COVID safety guidelines. So I'll be adhering to those safety guidelines as I perform your inspection. I attended InterNACHI's convention last year and I learned ... I carry home inspector insurance. So if there's ever a problem, yada, yada. I work on Saturdays. My reports are generated using something, cloud-based software or something like that. I take videos of all of my inspections, especially the roof, so you don't have to go up on the roof, yada, yada. I include a free home maintenance book. I include the buyback guarantee problem. So if there's ever a problem, InterNACHI will buy the home back from you at the price that you bought it for. I use infrared cameras during my inspection. I don't charge for it. I'll even give you the camera so you can take a look around and have some fun. All this, on and on and on. Don't answer the question. And let's say they ask the question again. So, well, how much do you charge? Well, you go, well, may I ask you a question? How much is the listing price? So maybe they're thinking, oh, she's gonna calculate the cost of the inspection based upon how much my house is. And then you repeat that number back. Oh, it's 748,000? No, it's 870. Oh, it's 870,000? Yep. And so you have a conversation about the actual, you want to highlight the drastic relative difference between the amount of the product you're inspecting, the home, and the amount that you're charging, which is above your competitors. There's a huge, big difference. the cost of my inspection is very small in relation to the cost of the home that they're about to buy. And you follow up with, if you need a really cheap, inexpensive inspection, I have several competitors. I'm glad to give you their contact information. You can contact them now. They're probably not busy. So there's a few strategies and tips that I use. I use those. But in this article, we have some example conversations where you can go back and forth with you and your client on the phone and see if you can develop some skills, some tips, some tricks on how to convert that person. So you're not relying on sales so much. You're relying on just a few good pointers. One of them is that converts that phone call, because I don't have all day. I have to get back to my client, right? One of them is in your office, get a piece of paper and write on the top, reasons why I would hire Ben. And then list them. Reasons to hire Big Ben Inspections, and then list them and have like 10 of them, right? And just constantly work on getting that list nice and tight and concise. And this is your elevator pitch, so that when you get that phone call, the phone rings, you have something to say. You have the reasons why you should be hired, or the reasons why you are the best, or what are the overwhelming value propositions? What makes you different from all the rest? What problems do you solve? What is the overwhelming value, perceived value, that your clients should know about? What are the top 3 things that agents love about so when you're talking to a real estate agent, what are the things that agents love about a really good home inspection that you actually provide? You're trying to line up your business services to the needs of your client. And if you can figure out what is on their minds when you pick up the phone, then you can address those concerns, those issues, those questions that they have, and sell them on your services. And we try to provide tips for you to convert a phone call into a paying client. Here's some good tips for answering the phone. Click the link there and converting your phone call. So a lot of it has to do with your tone of voice too. So have a friendly and cheerful tone of voice, because if you are stressed or anxious, that is not going to help at all. So learn some tips on how to convert phone calls. This is in step 8, because this is the advanced skill that you need to develop. If you can answer any phone call and convert that person into a client, you are now a master. And that's what the masterclass is all about. How good are you at converting a phone call into a client?